Hello everybody, I'm out here at a place called Indian Camp Creek Park, and we've just started. We've discovered this little guy here on the road, a little turtle in the middle of the road. We're going to move him out. Come on, bud, keep moving. It's a nice day. It's supposed to get up to about 92, 93 degrees. It's kind of cloudy, which is good, not too much sun. And I'm going full pack with the Crest Trail 75. And we're going to try out some new footwear. The Brooks Cascadia shoes. We'll see how those goes. See you later, bud. But right now we're next to the road. We're gonna head up that direction and we'll go off in the woods. This is a nice trail. It's I think there's a total of about eight or 9 miles total. See if we can do the whole thing. And it's multi-use with mountain bikes and equestrian. So you gotta watch out for the horse poop. But it cruises over there. And there's a creek back there, aptly named Big Creek. And I think we're gonna have lunch back there. And then we'll finish the loop and make it back to the car, so stick around. Well, here's another turtle. It's gonna be hard to make up any time if I keep running across cool wildlife like this. I haven't seen so many turtles before. I mean, this is the second one and I haven't even gone probably a mile. So we'll see. We'll see how many turtles we see here. I'm not sure what kind. Got little orange spots on his face. But you can see that the trail has entered into the wooded area. And this is a portion where it gets a little bit technical. And there's a little bit of elevation. This old creek bed here. And then we're going to go up this hill right here, which I have biked before. And it's a little bit grueling. But we're trying to keep a quick pace, so stick around. Here's some berries on the side of the trail. I think these might be raspberries. Blackberries, I don't know. 3 leaves, toothed. I'm not sure. But, there's lots of wild edibles to be found if you know what you're looking for. Here's some wood sorrel right here. So and there's some berries. Some more over here. They got thorns on the bushes. I don't know if that differentiates blackberries and raspberries. I reckon I should probably find that out. But we're cruising. Some plantain down here as well. So if you know what to look for, you can at least find some food. But here's the trail. It just kind of opened up a little bit. There's a power line that runs through right here. Walk back over there. This little power line that runs through here. Heads up that direction. Nice little open field area to find some plants or some more wood sorrel. See the yellow flowers. I've seen this with purple flowers too around. Not at this park, but around. Pretty good stuff. Some plantain seeding out. So there's a lot of neat stuff out here. Read your books. We're gonna keep cruising down the trail. We've done about 1.5 miles so far. And I'm trying to, like I said, go for a little bit of speed here. Kind of simulate a little bit of a through hike action. So I'm averaging about 2.5 miles right now. So I'm booking by my standards. So we're gonna keep cruising and see what we find down the trail. As soon as I turn the camera off, I see something else of interest. This particular plant I learned on one of my last outings with the conservation department. This is Ohio Horseman, and it's different from regular horseman in the fact that it has multiple flowers. Bees like it, apparently, and this is an edible / medicinal. And I just figured that out, but you can tell from the multiple flowers, it's kind of easily identified. So look that one up, Ohio Horseman. I'll see if I can't find it in the Peterson guide and put a little page number up too. So let's keep cruising along here and leave the bee in peace. All right, we came from down there. Just scared up a mourning dove down there in the woods. The little road is over here, but we've just come out to this little field. There's an old farmstead. I'm gonna zoom in here. Don't know if you can see that. It's a little shaky, apologies. There's a frame over there. I forget what that farmstead is, but it's a bit of a little historical site. We're out here in this field, and there's lots of wild flowers and things growing. And I stopped here because over at this house, there's that little black dot there, and I don't know what it is. Initially I thought it was an animal, and from here, to be honest, it looks like a bushy anteater, which is why I stopped. But I don't have binoculars or anything with me, so I really can't see, but it hasn't moved, so I'm assuming it's like a statue or something. Maybe it's like a table and I'm just seeing things. I should invest in a cheap light monocular. But over here, there's a horse pasture, and we'll head up there and see what the horses are up to. Well, the trail didn't go by the horses, so no point in bushwhacking just to annoy some quadrupeds. But this little plant right here, this is Sumac. I want to say it's winged sumac, but these leaves don't look like they're winged. There's a small little batch growing down over there. When I first came out here, I did an ID over here of this bush in the back there, and I don't want to go traipsing through the grass here, but that was winged sumac. And what was weird about it is the stem that goes up in between the leaves had like these little extra leaves on it, and according to the Peterson guide, it's called winged sumac. But you can use the berries in that to make the sumac tea, which I hear is pretty tasty. I haven't tried it yet. I don't see many berry bunches over there on that one. There's one little one on that lone little bush tree there, so maybe I'll have to come back and harvest some. And a little bit of rose over here, looks like. Some berries down in there. So there's lots of stuff out here. That field back over that direction had wheat in it, so I thought that was interesting. But this area right here, this part of the trail seems to be bulldozed quite a bit. I don't know if they just move equipment through here from field to field and that's why it's bulldozed, but it's going to continue up over there, and then we're going to jump back into the woods and see what's over on that side. This is the creek. I believe it is aptly called Big Creek. This will be not where we're having lunch. It's a bit overgrown here on the edge, but I know where some little rock bars are. This is the edge of the park, though. Over there is private land. but it is cooler in this section of the trail. And as you can see, it's heavily wooded. Alright gang, we are down by the big creek, as it is called, on the edge of the park. And you can see that cliff down there further up. That's pretty much the way it was. Now this sandbar, this sandy edge here where I'm at, this had a lot more rocks on it last time I was here. I remember walking around picking up rocks looking for like chert and arrowheads and stuff like that. But it seems pretty sandy right now. Lots of little fish, and the water definitely looks a little funky. It's got a little scum on top and it's very cloudy. But we're going to set up a little Poncho Sun Shelter and make some tea. So stick around. Well, here's the shelter. 2 trekking poles, my food hanging rope. Didn't even need to cut it, just looped it around. A couple stakes, ended up using 6. That's just a US GI poncho. Ain't much, but it would protect you, you know, from the sun. You needed a little bit of protection. Of course, you know, you trek out here in the middle of nowhere, and the first thing you run into is a couple kids looking to swim, so you may hear them in the background. But I'm going to cook up some tea with the Super Cat stove and the Caldera Cone, and we're having a Cliff Bar and tea and beef jerky for lunch. Alright, so I've shown this before. This is my Super Cat stove. Oh, I also have a Red Bull stove in here as well. The Super Cat stove works real well. Really, really light. And the way that this works is the pot just sits right on top of that. And sorry, the kids are now jumping off a cliff into a creek. I may have to practice first aid here in a moment. So, you know, obviously you need some sort of windscreen. So to do that, I created a clone of the Caldera Cone, and I'll do a video on that and show you how I do that. But I'm going to set that up with the Caldera Cone and show you what it looks like. And this is the cone. And the way that these cones work is they actually work as the pot stand as well. I didn't build mine the best. It's a little loose up here in top, and so consequently when there's water in there, this kind of falls through a little bit. But that's okay for this particular model because, once again, I'm using the Super Cat and the pot is going to rest on top of that. But when I did some testing with my Red Bull stove, this particular cone wasn't the right height. So I'll do a video on that and show you guys how I make one, because I'm going to make one to fit this as well as the Trangia. Because the cone itself is very dependent on, obviously, the pot size, the diameter, and how high off your burner it's going to be. So that's why it's important to you make it basically specifically for the pot. And you know, this is just aluminum flashing, so it doesn't bend. It bends pretty easy, and if it gets bent out of shape, then you just bend it right back, and it seems to work well. So we're going to fire up some water. So I carry my my Caldera Cone with my 12-ounce fuel bottle in just a simple Tyvek pouch. I cut it down and I just roll it all up together, and it sits there. Now I know that I can do 20 milliliters of fluid, and I can boil 2 cups of water in about 4 minutes. And I also use this syringe here to recover any leftover fuel, so I don't waste any and I have it for the next burn. It's not as efficient, my understanding, as a Trangia, but a Trangia burns slower, and Trangia also needs a pot stand, whereas this does not. So that works out pretty good. And get the lighter out. And there is really no priming for it. So we just put the top on and set our pot right on top. Here it is, the water's starting to get a real good boil to it. And I started it a little bit late, but 3.5 minutes. This cone really helps improve the efficiency as I steam up the lens of the alcohol stove. It works well. And you can see get that little pot cozy. See, there's a little bit of alcohol left, so I could take a stick, because this does get hot. Take a stick, move the cone off, take your snuffer cup, and put it right on top, and it'll snuff it out. And then you can recover that leftover fuel and save it for next time. Here's one of the benches that are Eagle Scout projects, and they're all over on the trail, which is nice. A place to sit down. It gives the Eagle Scouts a project to do. So we're back on the trail. More cliff divers showed up, and then one of the girls was like, "I'm gonna go get the others." And at that point I was like, well crap, there's a whole herd of them, I better get out of here. So I'm getting while the getting's good. Hopefully I don't get injured jumping off a cliff into a creek. Doesn't seem too smart. So, but as I get attacked by a spider web and drop my trekking poles, we're heading on the trail. It's a nice little break, and see if we can't pick up the pace and finish it off. So we've left the woods and the creek behind, and now we've come to the prairie. This will be the last section. That building up there is where the car is parked. So that's pretty much it. I'll have to tally up the tracks on the GPS when I get home and see exactly how far I went. But the feet feel good in these new shoes, which are ugly, but they work. My feet are completely dirty. A lot of dust on the trail. But these are Brooks Cascadia shoes. They're trail running shoes. They are replacing the 5 fingers, which gave me some toe issues. I'm still recovering from the 3-day outing with the 5 fingers, so they're definitely not going to be a shoe you wear all the time. Other than that, it's a good hike, and I appreciate you guys watching it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll be back with some more videos hopefully soon. So take care.